Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I would like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. Today's webinar is on the social media aspects of BNI Connect. So we're talking about our global network today and how we can connect with other people that are in this shared global resource that is BNI Connect, and all the different ways that we can interact with BNI members from around the world in just a very short time. And by April or so, all of the BNI world will be on the same platform. So once Canada and New Zealand and Australia all migrate into the system this coming April, just a couple of months away, we'll be able to look up a member in any country that has BNI Connect and has BNI and connect with people. We can be able to pass information. We can have discussions with them. We can give them testimonials. We can find out if there's referral opportunities as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we get started with that, just a couple of housekeeping things. Today is a live webinar. That means that as we're going through the information here today, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask those questions. The best way to do that is by typing your question into the question panel. I will then see that pop up on my screen, and I'll be able to answer it right away for you. Or if it's unrelated, we'll save the question till the end, and we can go through those questions. We're scheduled for approximately 30 minutes worth of content, give or take the questions that might arise during that 30 minutes. That being said, if there are a lot of questions, I am always happy to stay on these webinars as long as people need to in order to understand the content. Here at BNI Connect Support, this is what we do all day, every day, so I'm happy to answer your questions until there are none left. This webinar is being recorded. It will be made available in a couple of different places. The first place that it's made available is on the support site. The way to get to the support site is to either go directly to support.bniconnect.com or click on this question mark in the upper right-hand corner. That will take you to the support site. You'll see our list of upcoming webinars. And then if you scroll down, you'll see chapter training and documentation. And we have started putting the February series in chronological order up here. There's also the January and December series of webinars as well. The first couple of webinars from this week, Monday and Wednesday, have already been posted. And very shortly, this one will be posted as well. You can also find them directly on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. This has a ton of information up there, including special messages about BNI Connect from Dr. Meisner, educational moments, release notes, and tips and tricks, and all sorts of things. So please do subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and get updated whenever we upload new videos. All right, so again, let's talk about the connections aspect, the connecting aspect of BNI Connect, and how we can use this to tap into the global network of BNI. So for this, we are going to need to go beyond the home page a little bit. So this right here is our home screen. This is what we use to do our daily and weekly activity as far as going in and submitting our one-to-ones and submitting our referrals and thank you for closed business. But there are a bunch of networking things as well. And to get to those, click on the My Network link up here on the top left-hand side. And if we click on the My Network link, we'll see the screen will change a little bit. And here we have shortcuts to all of the different things that are really social media related here in BNI Connect. You'll see we have our connections. Now, connections are kind of like our own personal BNI address book. So you can start to connect directly with people. It'll put them all into this address book so you have easy access to their contact information. You'll also be able to give them testimonials and things like that through that interface. You can connect with as many people as you want to, but it is an opt-in connection. So we'll get to that in just a second. The second thing is groups. Groups are ways to ways to have discussions with members around the world. So there's discussion groups on so many different things, different positions in BNI, different groups of professions, so power teams and all sorts of things. Dr. Meisner has a couple of groups that he manages personally. So if you ever wanted to have a personal conversation and interaction with Dr. Meisner, a great way to do that is through the groups in BNI Connect. The documents, your region in BNI can share documents. These can be documents for leadership teams, such as the meeting agenda or control letters, or they could be for educational coordinators, for educational moments, anything that your region, your executive director would like to share, they can share through this document section for your region. Testimonials. Those are when you have kudos, good things to say about somebody else. Anybody that you are connected with, you can send a testimonial to here in BNI Connect. Events are your regional events, so the member success programs and the advanced trainings and maybe networking opportunities that are being produced by your region. You'll find those as well on the regional calendar on your regional website, but you can register for them and see a list of them here in the events section. And finally, there's also an internal messaging system within BNI Connect where you can send kind of little short messages to other people that you are connected with, and that is this messages interface. Most of these are also accessible by clicking on the network drop-down, so you can access your groups, your testimonials, your connections, and also your picture gallery here. So what do we do if we want to get connected with somebody else? Well, the way we do that is we can come here to My Network, and then we can click on Add if we would like to add a connection. The other thing we can do is from any screen, wherever you happen to be in BNI Connect, you should always be able to see this magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner. This will also take you to the search mechanism to find other people around the world. So once you click on either the Add button or you click on this magnifying glass, this will take you to the BNI Global Directory Search. All you need to do is put in some search items in order to search for people. So, for example, if I want to just, let's say, search for myself to see what it looks like, I would do a search. You'll see some exact matches. So I'm the only exact Jeremy Walsh here in BNI. And then I'll also see some partial matches. So partial matches might be that the last name matched, but the first name didn't match. Or part of the address might have matched, or the keywords might have matched, or some other piece of it matched. If you'd like to view somebody's profile, click on their name. It'll open up in a new tab, so you can always go back and see your search results. And from here, you can view their profile. Now, this is one of the reasons why you definitely want to make sure that you've taken the time to fill out your profile. We talk a lot in BNI about VCP, visibility plus credibility equals profitability. Now, because we're all on this connected system worldwide, we really want to make sure that as people are searching for our services and people want to connect with us and possibly even refer business to us, that we are putting our best foot forward. Dr. Meisner has often said that, he can't guarantee that you will get any more business just by filling out your profile, but he can pretty much guarantee that you will never get any more business if you leave it empty. It's kind of like taking out an advertisement in the phone book and then just leaving it blank. You can also do a search here. This is, you can search against any of these keyword, name, profession, product, service. You can just type in, let's say I'm looking for a florist in Massachusetts. I can do a search for florist in Massachusetts, It'll bring me back everybody with florist in their keywords or florist in their industry that live in Massachusetts, and I can go through and I can click on them, take a look at their profile, and see if I want to connect with them. Now, here's an example of what I was talking about where somebody doesn't have their profile filled out. So I'm looking at there's no picture. They do have my business description. They haven't filled out any of their bios. There's no credibility building information in there. I can, however, see the people that they're connected with. It does look like somebody has left them a testimonial, so that's good. There's a little bit of credibility there as well. No photos. She's not participating in any groups. And I can also see her training history. If I'd like to connect with Nancy in order to add her to my address book here in BNI Connect, I can send her a connection request by clicking on Add Nancy to my connections. This will send her to a request. If she accepts it, she'll then be added to my connection list. Now, there's also an advanced search, and I do see we have a couple of questions from Alana, Deborah, and Dawn. I'll get to those in just one second. There's also an advanced search. If we click the advanced search, now we can be a little bit more granular about what we're really looking for. We can make sure, but this is important, especially if you have very common names or if you have very short names, for example, that might be confused with a keyword or a classification or something like that. You can make sure that you're searching for exactly a person's name. Same thing with if you want to make sure that you're just searching within a certain state or within a certain country. That is good way to do it by using this advanced search. All right, we have a couple of questions here. Let's see. Alana says, well, will we be able to put director consultant visits in the event sections? I wouldn't recommend that. What we would do is usually we put our director consultant visits into the speaker rotation for the chapters, and that way you are sent reminders about that, and they can see you as a visitor in the upcoming speaker rotation. But we're going to be getting to that on one of our director level webinars as well. So hopefully that helps, Alana. Deborah says, is there a public business directory for the website that the general public can access? And absolutely, there is a public business directory. There's actually a couple of them. So, for example, I am a member here in the BNI Rhode Island region. So on our regional website here, we have the Find a Member search, which has a business directory. So again, I can search by name or I can search by category or profession or what have you. And it will return a directory here of this on the public side of things. There is also the BNI America website, and obviously Canada will have a BNI Canada website as well. That allows you to search for all the people in a country. So these are basically the regional websites are filtered so that only the people within the region are in that search, and the national websites are filtered for all of the people within that country. There's also chapter level websites that will have the chapter directory in it as well. So here we have the Find a Member search on BNI America. Again, a simpler and advanced search. I can search for myself here as well. And again, it will pull up my profile here for my personal, this is on the BNI America site. And as I said, there's also a chapter level site. I'm in the Wakefield chapter of BNI, and on this, looks like my region might be updating their website right now, so it's a little bit slow here, but the chapter members, and it will show my profile as well on the chapter site. So there's actually 3 distinct places the chapter site, the regional site, and the national site. So does that help, Deborah? The difference is that you can't make connections through the public sites. You can only search for people, and if they're sharing their contact information, you can do it that way. If you want to actually connect with people or search the entire global database, you do need to do that through the logged in member only portion of BNI Connect. So hopefully that helps. Dawn says, are you saying we must be connected first to send an out-of-chapter testimonial? Is this also true to submit an out-of-chapter referral? So, Dawn, testimonials on a global perspective are not recorded in the PALMS report. Testimonials are done through your connections. So let's take a look at our connections. So now that I've sent, we have some we can do searches and we can find people to connect with and we can send connection requests. Let's take a look at the connections interface and what that looks like. So I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go to connections and click on manage. I could also go to network connections. So once I get here, what we see here is basically an address book. And on the left-hand side, I'll see my list of just names. I can click on any of them, or I could scroll through the one that has the pictures over here. And if I click on somebody, my good friend Alfred E. Newman here, it will bring up all of his information that he's sharing, the address, the email. Again, it's a contact card here. And we'll see here a couple of different things that I could do. I could send him a message, so an internal message. I could ask him for a testimonial. I could view his profile, his full profile, or I can remove him from my connections. If I just pick another random person here, you can see on Nigel, I can also give Nigel a testimonial because I've never given Nigel a testimonial before. Now, when people send you connection requests, you do have to opt into those, as I mentioned before. And you do that here through the connections interface, down here under received requests. And here, Pooja Sharma has sent me a request. I can read his message. And I can choose to accept the request. I could also click on his profile here, and if I would like to find information about him, I could do so. If there were multiple people here, I could select all and connect it to everybody at the same time. Deborah says you can only give someone one testimonial, and yes, that is correct. You can only give people one testimonial at this time. These aren't PALMS reports. I know that there's some countries, some places that actually record how many testimonials you give people in the actual PALMS report. However, again, that is not a worldwide practice. This is to actually post a testimonial that will appear as part of their profile. And Dawn, to go back to your question, the second part of your question about submitting out-of-chapter referrals. You can submit referrals to other people within your BNI region. However, right at this time, we cannot submit referrals to other people outside of the region, so in other states in most cases, in other countries, things like that. The reason for that is that not all regions, not all areas allow cross-chapter. So as soon as that becomes a standard worldwide practice, we will be able to open that up to give the out-of-chapter referrals to more people. Does that make sense, Dawn? One other thing about connections is that you will be automatically connected to all of the people in your chapter. So that is a system managed connection. Whenever somebody is in your chapter, when they join the chapter, you will automatically be connected to them. If they leave the chapter, you will be automatically disconnected from them. You can't remove a connection to somebody in your chapter. Again, those are static. But other ones that you might have, you would have the opportunity to remove that connection if you'd like to. Now, when it comes to testimonials, if you want to give somebody a testimonial, again, that is done by clicking on their connection and then choosing to give the person a testimonial. You just need to write out the testimonial, and that testimonial will then appear on their profile. So, for example, if I go through, I'm going to open my own personal profile here in another tab. You will see here on the thumbs up tab, all of my testimonials are displayed. And these are testimonials that other people have given to me over the years. You can read through them, and this, again, is a big credibility builder. And again, this is one of the reasons why, again, because these are public testimonials that are showing why we only do allow one testimonial per person. Otherwise, theoretically, you could just fill up somebody's whole profile from one person. Deborah says, can you approve or accept testimonials? So yes, you can. If we go now into the testimonials, let's say I want to review my testimonials, I would go into the testimonials by clicking the testimonials button here, or by on my network page, clicking on testimonials, or by going to network testimonials. And here we'll see all of the testimonials that you've received. So if you want to review any of the testimonials that you received, you can click on one of them. At this point, you can go ahead and uncheck it if you would like to hide it from your profile. If you do not want it to be visible, uncheck that. Or let's say that the person wants to replace the testimony and give you an updated one because they can only give you one at a time. You can go ahead and delete this testimonial. Or, Deborah, as you just said, if there's lots of typos or what have you, you can delete it and they can resubmit that testimonial. Alana says, how many characters for testimonials? I think I'm pretty sure it's 2,000 characters that are available to give in a testimonial. Relatively sure on that one anyway. It's a pretty big field. You can write a pretty big detailed testimonial in there. And Dawn, I mean, if you'd like to troubleshoot that, why you can't give that particular person a referral, if you want to shoot me an email separately, support@bniconnect.com with the details of that, your name and his name. We'll double check the parameters of it, see if your region is allowing it, if somebody can make sure that they're in the right regions, et cetera, et cetera. We can personally go through those details separately offline if that's okay. Again, just send me the details, support@bniconnect.com. Dale says, can somebody not in BNI give a member a testimonial? And the answer to that one is no. You do have to be logged in to BNI Connect, which is a members-only portal, in order to be able to share and give testimonials. Now, that being said, there is another function here in BNI Connect and on your profile. So again, let me go back to my profile here. On your profile, one of the things that you can do and share is a photo gallery. So these photos can be anything from personal photos or cute pictures of your kids. They can be professional headshots. And in some cases, you may want to use this to actually share testimonials from clients. So as long as you can save it as a JPEG or a PNG or a GIF file, basically as an image file, you could upload an actual testimonial from a client and share that using your photos. So for example, this was a testimonial about BNI Connect that I received an email and I was able to put it in and share it using my photos. Now, to get something up into your photos, click on Network, Picture Gallery, and there is a maximum of 20 images up here. But you can always, let's say I delete one of these. I can upload another one using the Upload button. I would then search my computer for an image here. Give it a title and a description. And I could submit this. Now this will be shared on my profile for anybody that's viewing my profile and looking through my shared photos up there. And there it is. So does that answer your question there? All right, so that's the connections, that's the testimonials. We only have about 5 minutes left on the scheduled portion of this anyway. I'd like to quickly talk about the groups in BNI Connect. And once you start connecting with people and tapping into the larger global network, one of the best ways to take advantage of the global network is to start getting involved with discussions with people around the world. And just meeting people, obviously you're not going to have referrals right away necessarily. However, by getting to know people on a deeper level, this is, again, where you start to build that relationship. You start to build that credibility. And we can do that using the groups. So going back to my Network page here, we'll see the groups functionality, and I can click on Manage to get into the groups. I could also click on, of course, Network, Groups. Both will take you to the same place. This will list all of the groups out. So currently there are, let's see, 530 active groups in BNI Connect, and the groups are maintained as active. If they're dormant for more than 120 days, we do remove them from the system. And as you can see here, there's groups in a whole bunch of different things. This is just one for Michigan ambassadors. This is one for business opportunities. This is one that's completely in Japanese. But again, there are groups for all different sorts of things. Now you can go through page by page, and 530 groups at about 5 per page. It could take you a while to go page by page. Here's one of mine, my BNI Connect webinars group, where I do webinar announcements and reminders. So please do join that group if you'd like to. But if you don't want to go through page by page, you can do a search to find groups that might interest you. For example, let's say that I'd like to look for the groups that Dr. Meisner created. I'm going to go and type in Ivan Meisner as the creator and click search. And here are the 2 groups that Dr. Meisner manages. One called From the Founder and one called Why BNI. And both of these, I can assure you, he personally maintains and gets involved in the discussion. So you can always click Join Group if you're not a part of that group. I can go into that group now and I can take a look at the topics. Here's a very popular topic that he's been running since February. Well, actually for longer than that. What drives you crazy in a group? You can take part in that discussion by clicking on it and posting your own message or reading through other people's points that they've made. Now, one of the great things about it is that it will also notify you when there's changes in the group. So if people are posting and things like that, you will get a notification about that post, as will the people that are in the group as well. So when we talk about visibility and credibility, this is a great way to keep your name and your comments in front of people that are participating in this particular group. If we take a look at the group details, we can see that this group has quite a few people in the group. Many people are a part of this group. If you click on their name, it will take you to their profile. So this is also another way to connect with people. Now, going back to the groups interface, once you start joining groups, you'll see that there's a button here that says My Groups, so you can toggle this, and this will take you over, and it'll just filter out the groups that you are connected with, where you can go in and modify them, make sure that you're participating in your groups. You can also add a group. So you can add up to 7 of your own discussion groups for the topics that you want to discuss in BNI, whether that's about your business category or connecting with other people, or for example, there's one just on growth coordinators in BNI. So anything you'd like to do, you can create a group, just give it a name. You can choose what type of group it's going to be. Is it going to be an open invite only, or members can invite? An open group, anybody can jump in and participate. An invite only will be a hidden group, so people won't be able to find it or see it in the searches or the browsing. Only people that are members of the group would be able to participate and even find the group. And invite only means that only you and your moderators can invite people, whereas a members can invite would be that once you're a part of the group, you could invite your friends as well. Give the group a description. You can choose what language. The language is simply descriptive to let people know what the primary conversation language is going to be. And finally, you can, as you're creating it, invite a number of your connections along as well. Once you've created a group, you do want to make sure that you are participating in that group. So make sure the first thing you want to do is click on that group name. This is a test group I made up a while ago. Make sure that you're adding a topic and getting the conversation started so that people have something to reply to. So let's see, Dawn says, what is the process to create a group? Do you have to have a moderator? So as far as creating the group, I think we just went through that process. You just click on Add Group. As far as a moderator goes, I recommend having a moderator because they can help you to they'd be able to delete topics, add topics, remove people from the group, manage moderators, invite people, things like that. To add a moderator to a group, what you need to do is first you have to have some participants in the group. So once you have participants in the group, if you don't, you can invite people. Let me go to another group that has participants in it so I can show you how to make somebody a moderator. Let me go to my webinars group here. And again, I post to this group all the time for webinar reminders. I just posted to it yesterday. But if I go to participants, and I have my list of participants here. By the way, you can always use the search function on your browser by hitting Control F. And I just did a search for Elliot, Steve Elliott, who's on the call with us today, good friend of mine. If I wanted to make him a moderator, I could click on Edit and make him a moderator of my group and click Submit. So does that help there, Dawn? Does that answer the second part of your question? Deborah says, if there's a post to a group, does a notification go out? And the answer to that is yes, a notification does go out. As a matter of fact, that kind of test that I just did a second ago, the EWF, WEQF in my WRWEF group, this notification came to me immediately. Let me know the topic name, the message, and I can click there, which will bring me directly back to that group so I can continue participating in that discussion as well. So yes, notifications do go out. The notifications are controlled in your profile. So if I go to Options, My Account, and My Profile, and I click on the Settings tab, down here, right in the middle of the page actually, Group Post Email Notifications. My personal preference and my recommendation to anybody that's running a group, that's moderating a group, is to make sure that you get notified every time a new post is added. That'll allow you to respond quickly. Most of us aren't logged in except for us people here in support, and maybe Steve too, and some other people that do BNI for a living, but most of us aren't logged into BNI Connect all day, every day. So I would recommend that if you are running a group, you definitely set this to every time a new post is added. Worst case, I would say once per day. That way that you can respond to things within a day. If you're just a casual user or just want to keep up with the groups, once per week. And then finally, if you'd like to opt out altogether from the group notifications, click on Do Not Email Me at All for the group notifications. So that answer your question there, Deborah? All right, so that is, those are the topics I wanted to cover today, which is the groups, the connections, and the testimonials in BNI Connect, as well as how to find people and connect with them around the world. So we are a little bit past the bottom of the hour. What I'd like to do is to first, for anybody that does need to leave right away, thank you so much for being here. A reminder that this is recorded, as are all of our webinars. It is going to be available shortly, as soon as I can, on the support site. So again, to get to the support site, click on the question mark up here in the upper right-hand corner. Scroll down to the chapter training and documentation, and you will see the February webinars there. By the way, all of this is also documented under chapter training and documentation in the various help documents. For example, accepting a connection request. If you click on this, you can see all of the steps that you would take, descriptions, and how everything works within this function. So that is there as well. Also YouTube, just a reminder, YouTube/BNI Connect Global. Please subscribe to this page to get updates. And finally, I'd love it if you gave us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. We do tips and tricks and all sorts of stuff up here on our BNI Connect page as well. So I'd like to open this up for any questions at all. Please do ask some questions. I would love to answer those questions now. Deborah just says thanks, and you are very welcome. Artez, I believe, you are also very, very welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. By the way, a good referral for me. We had about 35 registrants for today's webinar. I would love to see more people on these webinars and get the knowledge out of our heads and into yours. If you could please help me promote these webinars to your chapters and fellow members and referral partners. You can, again, they can sign up directly from the support site. Our very next webinar is going to be on Monday, this coming Monday, member tools and reports. So we're going to go a little deeper into BNI Connect. We're going to talk about different functions that are available to members, like how to run a POMS report and how to email a visitor invitation, and some of those things that are available at a member level. Let's see, Darlene says, as a BNI member in Canada, can I register and log into BNI Connect? I'm aware that we will have complete access in April. Unfortunately, Darlene, you won't be able to get into BNI Connect until your information comes over with that migration. Our hands are tied on that one. I very much apologize for that, but we are very excited to have you come on board. I realize that these webinars were opened up a little bit early for members in Canada, and we're hoping to get you nice and excited about it. But the access won't be available until the migration happens in April. So I'm sorry about that, Darlene. Dawn says the webinars are beneficial. Thanks for your commitment. And by the way, we do repeat this series, this member series of webinars. All 7 or 8 of them that I do them on a monthly basis. Occasionally we'll take December off for the holidays, but all year long we go through the cycle of these webinars. Always going to be new members, and we'd love to get them on board with BNI Connect as soon as possible. So please, especially your new members coming into your chapters, please refer them to these webinars. Dale says, thank you, it was very informative. I've been a member for just under 4 months, and seeking was to be, to become a more effective member using BNI Connect as a tool. So hopefully if you've been on a couple of these, Dale, this is helping you with that. If not, please do also review the other recordings. My recommendations are to definitely review the online referrals webinar, and you may want to jump on the webinar on Monday as well, because that is going to go specifically into some member tools and reports that I think will help your membership. All right, that was the last question I've seen. Does anybody else have any additional questions? All right. If there's no additional questions, thank you guys so much, especially you people that I've recognized for the past couple of webinars this week, Carol and Christine and Deborah, Steve, of course. Thank you guys all for being here, and have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Happy connecting, everyone.